Okay, so 28 participants and billions. Life is not a multiple choice test. It's an open book essay exam, quotes Alan Blinder. Good morning to one and all present online. I, Vishal Manjeshwar from the third year BBA, take a great joy in welcoming you all to Quiz the Affairs, the business quiz, part of Flair 2021 and conducted by ESEL BMS CCM and Phoenix the Finance Club. Firstly, I would like to welcome our principal, Dr. Professor Pankaj Chaudhary, sir. I'd also like to welcome our quiz master for the day, Mr. Tariq Laskar, sir.
Thanks, Ashil.
Tariq, sir. Yes, sir. Tariq, sir, is a researcher, teacher, quiz master, trainer, and writer with over a decade and a half of diverse experience, primarily focused on business research, academia, and economics. Apart from heading the research and analytics practice at ITW Consulting, he also teaches part-time, instructing graduate and undergraduate programs at some of the foremost institutions in Bangalore in strategy, economics, and operations management. We extend a warm welcome to you, sir. Last but not the least, I extend my welcome to all of the participants of Quiz Day Affairs, the business quiz. All the best participants. Over to Siddharth.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for being here in this Quiz Day Affairs. We have taken, um, a lot of work has been put into this to make it the best experience for you, and we hope you all enjoy. Thank you. Over to Tarek, sir. Sir, can you please?
Sure. I thought, Siddharth, you were doing the participant check and the rules. So I would
Sure.
come in after
The rules.
that. So
the contenders.
let's do a participant check. Make sure that everybody is here.
Adarsh B. Meda is here.
You can do a hand raise, maybe.
And a mic check would also be.
Yes, and we'd also need a mic check.
Adarsh.
Yes, sir, I am here.
Can't see here.
I think Adarsh is here. He's saying on the mic is here. So let's move on to participant number 2.
Okay, Shravani A.
On Sri Shravani.
Okay.
Not here yet. Maybe you might want to check. Let's move on.
Yeah. Pranav Meduri.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Pranav's there.
Okay. Sirisha SR is here. No.
I don't see Sirisha yet.
I've only heard Pranav Meduri's voice till now.
I think Adarsh is the mic as well.
Yeah. Okay. Then Swarna Rao.
No, don't see Swarna either.
Okay. Maybe you can wait for some time. Uday G.
Uday is here. Uday, if you can just check your mic and speak into the mic, please.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Fantastic. Welcome to the quiz.
Cool. And Ronak.
I'm there.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Then we might have to wait for Swarna Rao probably.
Swarna Rao, so the people currently who are not here yet are Shravani, Sirisha and Swarna Rao. We know.
We can probably wait 5 minutes or explain the rules.
Hi, Siddharth. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Siddharth, just to change, there's this my name over there. Can you just put Ronak over there instead of Ronak B?
Yeah.
That's it.
Sir, can you just change the thing on your screen?
Okay, I'll have to.
Yeah.
Yep, there you go.
Okay.
So are we waiting for the other participants to come in before we move on to the rules, Siddharth?
Yes, sir. We're waiting for like 5 minutes.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll just wait 5 minutes. No problem. I think we have time, so should be okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Anamika is telling us Swarna Rao has joined.
Okay. Can Swarna Rao speak into his mic for a check?
Yeah. Swarna, if you can speak into the mic and just let us know that it's working.
Sorry? Shravani? Is this Shravani? Shravani?
Swarna, if you could just unmute your mic and just check it, please. Swarna, you there? Okay. Who else are we waiting on then?
Shravani, I guess.
Okay. I think ma'am is checking on Shravani, no?
Yeah.
So, Sirisha SR will not be joining. She is unable to join due to not being well. So,
Okay. But is Shravani joining? So I'll take
Shravani-
Sirisha off the list. Because otherwise then we can move ahead with the rest of the quiz. Nah?
yes, sir. Just 1 minute. Just let me try to get back to her. Sir, Shravani as well won't be able to join in. So,
Okay, so that's 5 people and Ronak is asking for 2 more minutes. So we'll start exactly at 11:30. We can go through the rules, I guess. Just give me a second to update the participant list. Okay, there you go. So those are our contenders: Adarsh, Pranav, Swarna, Uday and Ronak. Siddharth, if we could go through the basics of the rules, and then we'll get into the round by round specifics with the contestants as we begin the quiz.
Sure, sir. So, of course, the first rule of any quiz, the quiz master is God. His word is final and binding on the participants. And there are 3 rounds in this quiz, and you have to keep your videos on at all times. Can we
Just a clarification there, Siddharth. For the first round, even if the videos are not on, perfectly fine. For the next 2 rounds, we'll ask you specifically to put your videos on, and at that point, you will have to keep your videos on at all times. So please be aware of that.
Yeah. So the final 2 rounds will be the video. You have to switch on your videos. And the audience, whoever is here, please keep your mics muted. We have audience questions as well, and you can answer there. And of course, the participants, you're not allowed to look for the answers on Google or any such, search engines. And you can't do that, Have fun, everyone. It's a fun day today. And the quiz is extremely entertaining as far as I've seen. And yeah, that must be it. Yeah, audience, please send in your creative answers when we ask for. There will be audience questions as well. Okay, I think we can, if Ronak is here, we can get to the first question.
So before we get to the first question, quick shout out to the entire ESL and the Phoenix Club who have done a fantastic job of putting all this together. Usually we do credits at the end of the quiz, but I thought that I will mention it's been Siddharth and Sriram who have researched all the questions and put the questions out here that you see. Because I want to make sure that if the quiz is not great, you know who to blame directly rather than coming to me. I'm just kidding. They have done a terrific job, as you will find out when the rest of the quiz is out there. Simple enough quiz. We have a first round where everybody will participate. So we have this set of contenders, and we will do an elimination at the end of the first round. Since there are only 5 contestants, there will be only the lowest scoring contestant will be eliminated, and 4 contestants will go into the final 2 rounds, which is 4 questions each. And that will be when you will have to keep your camera on, and it will be questions to individual contestants, and we'll explain the rules as we go there. The first round is straightforward. It is going to be an on-screen quiz. And like Siddharth already mentioned, please make sure that you don't Google the answers. Hopefully we have made the quiz not really easily Googleable. And in the spirit of fair play, let's make sure that that's not the case, because that's something that online it's almost impossible to ensure that everybody's playing fair, but we believe in the better angels of your nature, so we kind of also believe that you guys will not do that. So yeah, let's get started. So to get started, the round 1 will be something that will be playing out on screen, and there will be 10 questions which all of you participants, so all 5 of you who are here will be participating in. What we'll do is we'll send you the credentials to start the quiz on your WhatsApp group, and you will have to use that link. So that's why I'm saying that you don't necessarily need to have the camera on in the first round, because you will need to be looking at your screen to see the questions and also to input your answers. And as mentioned earlier, the top 4 out of this round, there are 5 people participating. After 10 questions, whoever hold the top 4 positions will go into the next round. In the next round, the scores will be reset, and obviously whoever scores highest in the next 2 rounds is crowned the winner. In case there is a tie there, we might come back to the first round scores to use that as a tiebreaker, or use tiebreaker questions as might be appropriate when we get there. Like I said, there are audience questions, so we will get the audience involved. I know that there are a lot of people who have tuned in, and thank you so much for taking time out and tuning into this. Over the next hour or so, hopefully we give you an interesting hour of learning and trying to crack questions. Please send answers on the chat, but not when the contestants are being asked. I think, Sushil, you might have to disable chat for the audience for the first round. because we do not want anybody putting in answers for that. We only want the contestants to be doing that. But we'll be opening up chat as well as your mics and camera, if you wish, to give answers to other questions that we'll be asking along the way. So without further ado, one final check. Are all the contestants ready to begin? Quickly give me an indication.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fantastic. So what
Yes,
I'll do
sir.
is I'll set up the quiz, and we will send you the credentials, and I'll share the screen here so that we can begin. This quiz will ask you to put your names in. Please make sure you put your names in properly, because that's the way we'll be able to correctly identify. And remember, whatever names you put in, we are going to be basing the scoring on that. So you don't want that to be we missed out. All right, so I'm not going to share screen yet, but first I will send you guys the credentials to join in. And for the audience, you'll be able to see the questions on the screen, and you can play along wherever you are. But the only request is, please don't send any answers on the group. The chat will be disabled anyway. So, all right. I have sent the link across. So please go to the link and use the code or the password to join the quiz. And once all 5 have joined the quiz, we will go live with the screen and also start first round, which is 10 questions. It's a bit of a mixed background with 10 different questions. I can see Ronak has joined already. Just waiting on everybody else to join.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Swarna Rao NK is having some audio issues.
Not an issue. I think for now we can manage.
Okay, sir.
And we'll check maybe in the second round if that's an issue.
Sure, sir.
I mean, if it's a major audio issue, if we can use the chat and all that. Not a problem. Not to worry.
Okay, sir. Sure.
Okay, so Adarsh, Pranav, and Ronak have joined. Just waiting on the other 2 participants to join on this. So this will be an on-screen quiz where you will have to be answering multiple choice questions. Each question will be on the screen for 60 seconds exactly. So you have to make sure that you answer within those 60 seconds. The quicker you answer, there are bonus points, which the system will score by itself. So ideally, the quicker the answer, the better it is. But you will also have to make sure that the answer is correct. So it's a trade-off between accuracy and speed. Choose wisely. The questions are reasonably fit within a 60-second time frame. It's a slightly challenging round, but there are 10 questions, so you have enough time. I think I have Uday, Adarsh, and Ronak. So we're just waiting on Swarna to join in. So after 1 minute, if even I can't control it, the system will move on from the question and will move to the next one. So please make sure that you are active and quick on that. And same thing for the audience. You will see the question on the screen. You can play along with your family. That's one thing you can do when you're in an online quiz. But again, it will be there only for 1 minute. What we'll also do is we'll be mentioning the question alongside on the main presentation as well. So you will know that even if you are not able to read the entire line out there, you will have some amount of extra clues to work the question with. But look at the options very carefully before you do. Okay, Swarna has joined as well. So we are ready to begin Quiz Affairs, the business quiz at Flair 2021, round 1, beginning now. Right, here we go, starting this. And the first question will be coming on screen now. Okay, so here we are. Name this Briton who was the longest serving commissioner of Mysore in 19th century Karnataka. Longest serving commissioner of Mysore. So the choices are Warren Hastings, Mark Cubbon, Louis Mountbatten, or Earl Cornwallis. 60 seconds to answer this question. There's a clock that will be counting down the time. So as you can see at the top, clock's counting the time down. You just have to tell us, who is this Briton? Take a guess. There are no negatives in this round. So if you get one right, you're getting points. All 5 have answered. I think everybody has entered an answer, and we will let time expire to move on to the answer here. Okay, 2 people getting it right. It is, of course, Sir Mark Cubbon, who you are seeing in the photo. And audience, what is Sir Mark Cubbon's claim to fame, if I may? Anybody from the audience wants to go for it? In the chat, maybe we can enable the chat now for a moment, Siddharth. So here we are. 2 people got the answer right. Unfortunately, 3 people did not. And Hitesh saying Cubbon Park, yes, absolutely right. The Cubbon Park is of course named after him. Okay, contestants, get ready. We are moving on to the next question. Okay, question coming up in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Name this navigation tool in mobile apps, the photo that you see on the left, which is named after a food item. So there's a typical name for this navigation tool. There's typically a menu. You will go to websites and you will see that you can click on that menu, and there will be like these 3 lines to suggest that it's a kind of a drop down menu. So what kind of a menu is it called? It's named after a food item. Is it pizza menu? Is it taco menu? Is it hamburger menu? Is it paratha menu? It's a workable question. 2 people have already answered, I see. Still about 20 seconds to go on the question. So it's kind of fairly common sense stuff. If you're kind of all right, I think we have 5 out of 5 answer, and again, coincidentally, exactly at 17 seconds, the answer, which I'm hoping everybody got right. Oh, wow, okay, did not. So it's the hamburger menu, only 1 contestant getting it right. 3 of you went with taco for whatever reasons. I don't know what angle it looks like a taco from. I don't understood, maybe pizza. Yeah, it's sort of like the hamburger menu, or it's called the hamburger menu because it looks like a hamburger, sort of like the bun on the top and the bottom and the patty in the middle. So usually designers or developers call it the hamburger menu. Okay, moving on to next question. Here it is. Coming up in a second. Here we go. These are books written by a well-known personality. So you'll see a bigger picture. Who was in the news in India recently for various reasons. Some good, some not so good. Who is this person we are talking about? So one of the books, as you can see on the left, is No One Is Too Small to Make a Difference. So the names of the personalities we've given you as the choices: Malala Yousafzai, Greta Thunberg, Melinda Gates, or Sudha Murthy. Famous personality who's written these books and was also recently in the news in India. As you can see, 3 people have already answered. There is still about 15 seconds to go on this question. And we have all the answers which have come in. This should have been an easy one to crack, I'm hoping, but you have surprised us with burger menu. Okay, 2 people getting it right. 2 people going with Melinda Gates, but the 2 who went with Greta Thunberg are absolutely right. Greta Thunberg, of course, was in the news recently, not least because of the environmental activism and criticism of the government, which blew into a whole deal by itself. So that's what it was. So that's question number 3. We'll quickly move on to question number 4. We already have a very interesting positioning on the quiz right now. Here is your next question. All right, here you go. This is a very interesting question, and props to Siddharth for coming up with this. The reason Japanese people are so short and have yellow skin is because they've eaten nothing but fish and rice for 2000 years. If we eat blank, certain food name, for 1000 years, we will become taller, our skin will become white, and our hair will become blonde, said this gentleman called Ben Fujita. What was Den Fujita talking about? Borderline racist? Not borderline, pretty straight out racist. But he was talking about some particular food. Was it A, Hershey's chocolates, B, KFC, C, McDonald's, or D, Chyawanprash? So he was basically saying that we've eaten rice and fish, and the Japanese diet is not great. If we eat like this particular food, we'll also become like 6 feet tall and blonde hair and all that. Although amazingly, Japan has one of the highest life expectancies in the world. So I don't know what Mr. Fujita was on about. But yes, we have all the 5 answers coming in. I hope everybody got this one right, because I'd love it if everybody did. Okay, 3 of you did. Well done. This is one of the best performances on the questions so far. And the answer is correct. It is McDonald's. 2 of you went to Chyawanprash. I like that. So clearly you understand the health concerns here. Nobody went with Hershey's chocolates or KFC. Fair enough. But yes, there's a link as to why a certain Den Fujita from nowhere came and said that, and he actually has his own axe to grind. Siddharth, do you want to add why Den Fujita was saying that? What was his position?
So basically, Den Fujita was the head of Japanese McDonald's Japan, basically. So to promote his product, also he said this particular words.
Okay, so Den Fujita was Baba Ramdev before Baba Ramdev. Okay, moving on to the next question. Well done on this one, people who got it right. Question number 5 coming up on your screens now. Okay, here we go. During Ottoman times, the Turkish pound was the official currency in Iraq. But when the Ottomans were displaced after World War I, basically the empire collapsed, Iraq adopted another country's monetary system, and blank or X became the principal currency of Iraq. So you just have to identify which other country's currency did they adopt, because they did not have their sort of own financial system yet. Later on, the Iraqi dinar came in. Now the Iraqi currency is Iraqi dinar. At that time, temporarily, they were using this country's monetary system. So was it dollar, was it euro, was it pound sterling, or was it rupee? Think a little carefully about this one. And this is a very, very interesting story behind it. Which country's monetary system, or you could say currency, basically, did they accept? Okay, just in time, all the 5 answers coming in. I think just with about a second to spare, so well done on that. Mission Impossible level stuff. And only 1 getting it right. A lot of people going with euros. Euros did not even exist at that point of time. This is World War I time we're talking about. Pound sterling was not a bad guess, to be fair, because the British had a lot to do with the Ottomans and Iraq. But the correct answer is they adopted India's rupee. In fact, in the Middle East, the rupee has quite a little bit of power as a currency. Of all people, even Dhirubhai Ambani managed to do a lot of trade with the rupee and in Yemen for a point of time when he was there early on, building his his career as a gas pump attendant before he came back to become the tycoon that he became. Okay, we are halfway through this round right now. So what we'll do is we'll keep this open in the sense that when I don't know at this point who's leading the quiz and who's behind, so we'll leave the suspense to right till the end, so we can go on and keep. Okay, question number 6 coming up now. Okay, here it is. I really like this question again. Good question from Siddharth and group. What company launched this video game called Angry Brides? I'm not sure if you can see the photo exactly, which is a parody on the game Angry Birds. I think you can see it there. So what company? Is it Netflix? Is it Amazon? Is it Shadi.com? Or is it Brook Bond Tea? Somebody for a promotional campaign or basically as content for their product. This game that you could play, it's called Angry Brides, which is modeled on the idea of Angry Birds. So each of these companies like to do that. I think it's a crackable question, and I think everybody has given the answer. So we will move on to the answer. Here we go. Yes, 4 of you getting it right. Well done on this one. I think best performance so far on the quiz. Shadi.com is the brand. Angry Brides, so that should have been the clue, the brides part of it. Brook Bond Tea is not a bad guess. I think Siddharth definitely included that as a red herring, and it's worked for at least one person, Siddharth. But Shadi.com was the company. Okay, so we are ready to move on to question number 7. Here it is. Okay, in April 2015, Microsoft announced a pilot program to identify talent among people with a certain medical condition, because they felt that these people with this medical condition generally are sort of ignored or treated unfairly, but some have amazing ability to retain information, think at a level of detail, and excel in math and coding. The kind of things you would need to, let's say, succeed at a job at a place like Microsoft. So what was this condition that they were looking at? Was it autism? Was it Down syndrome? Was it cerebral palsy? Was it Lou Gehrig's disease? So what was this condition for which they were looking at hiring people, or basically prioritizing hiring these people and giving them a chance, because they felt that the condition does not limit their abilities. If anything, they are actually better at some of these programming. All right, got all the 5 answers. Here it is. People going for autism is the correct answer, not cerebral palsy or not Down syndrome, although those are not bad guesses either. But 2 people getting it right is indeed autism. And as you might be aware, in autism, people are sort of on a spectrum. It's some people it can be there, and some people it can be less severe, but everybody has certain levels of talent. So interesting program from Microsoft. And that takes us to question number 8. I can see extra participants in there. Are more people joining in the quiz on the main quiz? Anyway, so in 1986, people in Germany were terrified of the side effects of a certain catastrophe that had happened, which would start affecting their milk. So German retailers started printing the word Entwarnung, which meant that it's cleared of impurities, on the milk to reassure them. So the test was to detect a particularly highly toxic impurity that was generated thousands of miles away because of this catastrophe. So what disaster or catastrophe are we talking about? Was it the Bhopal gas tragedy, the Chernobyl nuclear disaster, Lebanon chemical explosion, or the Fukushima earthquake? Which of these catastrophes sent a panic among people in Germany that the milk might be contaminated? So retailers had to sort of test that for that impurity and tell them that, okay, it's not contaminated, it's safe to drink. All right, answers in. Let's see how many people got this one correct. Only one, the Chernobyl nuclear disaster. A lot of people went to the Lebanon chemical explosion, maybe because of recency bias, that was relatively recent. But we're talking about 1986. Bhopal gas tragedy, not a bad guess. But radiation from the Chernobyl nuclear disaster was what people were worried about. Okay, going to the penultimate question, question number 9, which will be the one but last question for round 1, and then we have one more question to go, and then we'll find out who are the top, and a question coming your way as well, audience, in just a bit. Okay, this book says Say No to Jugaad, or Saying No to Jugaad, is about what famous enterprise, which already was a big enterprise, but it became even bigger in 2020 because of the lockdown in India. Oh, I think the answer is fairly clear on this one. If everybody does not get this question, we should end the quiz right here. So I'm eagerly waiting to see. This will also be a test, Siddharth, of how people are navigating the screen.
Yeah, that's true.
So this is basically a test of checking how you're navigating the screen. We completely did this on purpose, totally. All right, I think time's almost up, and we have got all the 5 answers. All the 5 answers better be correct, otherwise I'm putting you out of the quiz right now. All the 5 are. Thank you for paying attention. So the answer, of course, is Big Basket, which incidentally was left on the picture out there. Okay, last question coming up, guys. So that will decide who the top 4 are and who are the ones who go on to round number 2 and 3, which will be the finale rounds of our quiz today. Here is the final question. It's not a book cover with the company's name on it. Okay, so take a look at these brands, and you will have to enter the answer here. So you can't click anything. So Wayne Brenner, Bubblegummers, Stuffies, Marie Claire. Connect these brands to a company. So you will find a blank to put the name in. So you'll have to put the company name in there. Type the company name and put enter. That's what we want. What company owns these brands, basically? It's a pretty straightforward question. Connecting all these brands to one company which owns them. Capitalization or case is not a problem. It's not case sensitive. So you can just type that in. Nobody going for it as yet. Haven't seen a single answer on this one. Okay, somebody has given the answer. Still 10 seconds left if you want to go for it. Okay, we've got 2 answers, 5 seconds. We've got 3 answers, and time's almost up now. I think we'll only get 3 answers on this one. And let's find out if people have got it right. Yes, 2 people got it right. Well done on this one. The answer, of course, is Bata. These are all brands from Bata, Bubblegummers. Anybody with fond memories from school about Bubblegummers? Marie Claire is their women's range, and of course, incidentally, there is a misnomer that Bata is a very Indian company. So, open question to the audience, and we can open the chat now, Rushil, I think. Where is Bata actually from? What country is Bata actually from? It's not from India, although it's so popular in India that people, tend to think of Bata as an Indian brand. So let's see if any audience answers are coming in. Okay, Chetan is saying Switzerland. Siddharth is saying Italy. Hitesh also saying Switzerland. Yeah, good guesses, but not the correct one. Meanwhile, I'll go on to the scoring sheet. Please keep the answers coming in. When anybody thinks they have the right answer, please raise your hand. We can give you a shot at the mic to give us the right answer.
Zlin from Shazia.
Sorry, what was that?
I don't know how to pronounce it, sir, but it's Zlin, I guess. Z-L-I-N.
Yes, Zlin is the city. Do you know which the country is? Yes, that's a very good answer. I mean, I did not expect somebody to get the city right.
Czech Republic.
Yes, the Czech Republic is the right answer. Or I mean, we used to be what was former Czechoslovakia, so they're from Czechoslovakia, but a company that became very popular in India. Well, not least also because there was a time they had come in India before the British. I mean, during the British times, and they stayed on because as you know, India was not allowing foreign investment after a point. All right, we have gotten the answers out, or rather the results out here. So I will quickly share the results on screen of the first round because we are ready to move on to the second round. We've got plenty of time to do the second round in. So here are the results for everybody, and you will also be able to see the distribution out here. A very strong finish from Pranav gets him right to the top of the leaderboard with 4,600 points. Ronak on second, 4,550 points, just 50 points behind. Uday on third at 3,490. And Swarna Rao with 2,160. 3 out of 10 questions, but just a fraction faster, I guess, making it to the top 4. So Pranav, Ronak, Uday, and Swarna will have you on the final. Tough luck on that one. Others just missing out with a slight whisker, probably just in terms of time. In fact, let me see if I can take a look at time. Yes, others just taking a little too long towards the end and not getting the number 10 answer in as well. So yeah, tough luck on that one, others. But the other 4, Pranav, Ronak, Uday, and Swarna, welcome to next 2 rounds. So we are now going to switch over to the next 2 rounds. In the meantime, Siddharth, if you want to do a quick audience question while we set up the final round for the contestants. Is there a question you want to throw the audience's way? Or we'll do it after the round? You're on mute, Siddharth. Oh, hang on. I think we'll have to unmute you.
Yeah, I wasn't able to until now. So I could ask a question now. It would be great. I'll just get it ready. Just give me a second.
Okay. So while Siddharth gets the questions ready, could I please ask the remaining contestants who are in the final to also switch your videos on? Because for the remaining rounds, we would ideally want your videos on. It will only be about 15 minutes. So hopefully data connectivity and things like that should be fine. So shall I read out the contestant names again? We have Pranav, we have Ronak, we have Uday, and we have Swarna. So if we could have your videos on, and Rushil, if you could put them on the spotlight for our audience to see our 4 finalists who will go through the last 2 rounds to crown the champion of the business quiz at Flair 2021. And there is Ronak. Hi, Ronak. Welcome to the grand finale. There is Uday. Hi, Uday. Welcome to the grand finale. And that's Pranav. Hi, Pranav. Welcome to the grand finale. Just waiting on Swarna. I think Swarna was the one who was having some issue with microphone, right? Hopefully that is no longer. There is Swarna. Hi, Swarna. Welcome to the grand finale. And in case you are having any issues with the mic, just let us know. You can send the answer as a private chat as well. Should not be a problem, because it is not absolutely necessary. But for the sake of the show and the audience, it would be nice if we could do that. Okay. So we are going to go through the rounds in this order: Pranav, Ronak, Uday, and Swarna. And in the next round, what we'll do is we will go in the reverse order. That is, we'll begin with Swarna, and then Uday and Ronak and Pranav. And questions can pass. The scoring is very straightforward. It's 10 points for a correct answer. Doesn't matter whether it's your direct question or from somebody else. Every question, only 10 points. there are 4 questions in the second round. There are 4 questions in the third round. So you can technically get a total of 80 points are for grabs. But all of you will have 2 power cards. So Siddharth will just have to track the power cards for these guys. For any 2 questions, whether it's a direct question or you get a indirect question for you, you can play the power card, which is basically you can choose to double the points, but obviously comes with a risk. So if you use the power card, before answering, you'll have to say that, okay, I want to use my power card and give the answer. If it's correct, it's plus 20. Unfortunately, if it is wrong, then it will be minus 10. So if there are questions where you're confident about and it comes to you, use the power card. You have 2 of them. You can use it at any point of time. You can use both of them in this round. You can use them later. You can use one of them now, one of them later, or anything of that sort to try and win this quiz. So the scoring is pretty straightforward. Siddharth will help us keep track of that. Siddharth, we ready with the scoring? We're good with the scoring?
Yes, sir. We're ready with everything.
Okay, fantastic. So let's get going with the second and third rounds of the quiz. And the first question will, of course, be to Pranav. This round is called Atmanirvar.in. So obviously, this is going to be questions about Indian personalities, businesses, things related to India. Not necessarily always based in India, related to India. Okay. First question coming up for you, Pranav, and then we will move to Ronak if you can't answer, and feel free to unmute yourself and answer when you need to. Reasonable amount of time given, so there is no time constraint here. Don't have to worry about time running out and things like that. Okay. Canteen at IIM Ahmedabad has a very unique name. It's called TANSTAAFL. And Staffel. So what is the full form of this particular line? It's usually sort of discussed in, I think, economics. It's discussed in business classes also. There's a particular sort of lesson or an idea that is represented by this TANSTAAFL. So what does this stand for? The unique name of the IMA canteen. And naturally, one of the most elite business schools in the country went with a very nerdy business or economics line with their canteen name. So I'll give you some clues to make it a little easier. Maybe I'll give you the TANS of it if you can give me the rest. And even if it is not entirely accurate, if it's in the region, I'll still give you. We'll follow the best answer policy here. If anybody gets close enough to the answer, I'll give it. So the first TANS stands for there ain't no such. There ain't no such. In fact, I'll give you the other T also. There ain't no such thing, then black.
There ain't no such thing as a free lunch.
Is the right answer. Well cracked, Pranav. It's the canteen. So, that's where you usually go to have lunch. And in economics, we usually say that there ain't no such thing as a free lunch. So usually in economics, it's used to explain the idea that there is always opportunity cost or some kind of hidden cost to things. So the first 10 points of the quiz go to Pranav, and the next question is coming to Ronak. So here is question number 2 of this round. Your question, Ronak. Might take a little bit of time to get through, but don't worry, crackable answer, I think. So in a recent visit to his former college, this particular person was recounting what it was like for his interview in 2004, which was on 1st of April. This particular company, which as April Fool's prank had, launched several fake products on April 1st. So when he was being interviewed for this job, this person thought that, hey, maybe they're just telling me about a fake product and this is not even a real product, offering 1 GB of free space when other competitors are offering only 2 MB and things like that. And, this major service was being launched on 1st April 2004. And that's when he was being interviewed to head this particular division. Who is this person we are talking about? I need the person. So the company or the product will not fetch you points. You will need to tell me who is this person who was talking about this. This is a question to Ronak. If Ronak doesn't answer, it will pass to Uday and then Swarna, and the same cycle will continue. So Ronak, If you have any guesses on this one. Okay, can't give you a lot of time on this. I pass it to Uday. No negative, so you can take a guess if you want.
David Letterman.
David Letterman. No, not David Letterman. Goes to Uday. Not who was he interviewing, as in who was this person who was talking about. Is Uday there? Goes to you, Uday. No, not getting an answer.
Uday, if you could keep your camera on.
Uday can't see you on camera. Passing on to Swarna. Swarna, go for it if you have any answer.
Am I audible?
Yeah, you are. Go ahead.
Finally. Sundar Pichai?
Sundar Pichai from Google is the right answer. 10 more points to you. So early scoring from Swarna there. It is indeed Sundar Pichai, and he initially headed the Gmail program at Google. And so there was a program that was launched on 1st April 2004. Google has launched a lot of other prank programs, including Google Print, where they said that they'll print everything and send to you if you want. But this was a real product. So that's what it was. Good answer, Swarna. Well done. We move to Uday for the next question, I think. Let me just check my order out here. Yes, it's Uday who will get question number 3. So Uday, here is your question. Thomas Bracken, Irish-born poet from New Zealand, wrote the 2 national anthems of New Zealand, but those are not as important points here. But he was the first in the world to describe New Zealand with 3 particular words. These 3 words to describe New Zealand in general as a place are also very famous in India. I will give you a general clue for everybody that the link is tourism. In the context of tourism, these are 3 very famous words in India as well. So what were the 3 words he used for describing New Zealand, which incidentally is sort of used for, well, let's put it this way, used for a part of India as well?
God's own country.
Uday going for God's own country is the right answer. So 10 points on that one, Uday. Well done. Good answer. Maybe could have gone for the power card there if you wanted. But the 3 words were God's own country. And as we all know, Kerala uses it as their tourism slogan. All right, coming to you, Swarna. You've already placed yourself on the board, and you can actually take the lead at the end of the first round if you answer this one correctly. Simple enough question. You have to connect the images on the next slide. We'll show you the images. We'll even give you a little bit of a clue about each of those images. And you have to connect it to an institution. Okay. So that's the general clue for everybody. Here they are. Okay. Siddharth, if you want to give them a little bit of a background on each of the pictures so that it's fair to everybody, including Swarna.
Yeah. So this is. So should I say exactly what the pictures are?
Yeah. Please go ahead.
Okay. So this is the Wadiyar family. They've ruled Mysore for a long time. This one is the logo of NAL, and the bottom one is the World Religious Conference. These 3 would be enough to get you.
So, and again, just to add to Siddharth's general clue that we are looking for the name of an institution. And as you can see, NAL, Wadiyar family, so it's kind of in the vicinity. So you know geographically where to look for this. So an institution, what institution connects these pictures that are shown out here? Swarna's question, so go for it if you have an answer. If not, we come back to Pranav and we go through the entire order as usual.
I'll shoot. Am I audible?
Yeah, go on.
I'll shoot at IISc.
IISc in Bangalore, the Indian Institute of Science. Yes? Yeah. Is the correct answer. Well done on that one. That's a great crack, Swarna. Superb answer. It's the IISc. I should place it on record that when Siddharth asked me the question the first time, I did not get it right the first time. So well done on that one. Good guess. Plus 10. Swarna, I think, taking an early lead at the end of this round. Of course, the linkages. Swami Vivekananda actually spoke to Jamshedji Tata about setting up this Institute of Science in Bangalore, and the Wadiyar family, or Krishnaraj Wadiyar the fourth, actually provided the tract of land where it is based in Bangalore now, right? And of course, without ISC, some of these things from your NAL and HR, all these great institutions in the country would not have been set up. All right, quick time for a audience question while Siddharth can cross-check the scores, but I think we know what the scores are, right? Swarna is leading with 20 points.
20 points.
Yeah, and I think Pranav's on 10 and Uday is on 10 as well. Okay, so before we go on to the final round, quick question for the audience, if anybody wants to take a stab at this one. With chapters that are named like these, how is the Ku Klux Klan like a group of real estate agents? Or why do drug dealers still live with their moms? You know, this kind of very provocative, interesting questions. What 2005 best-selling book did these two people, Stephen Levitt and Stephen Dubner, write, which became a bit of a sensation? Almost everybody has probably, at some point of time, either read this or heard about this book. If you guys could send in. So Siddharth, if you can take in on the chat, because I'm for some reason not able to access the chat.
Yes, I'll just.
Okay, yeah, I've got them here. Okay, Hitesh is saying economics, which is of course the right answer. So yeah, well done on that one. So, and again, a quick request to everybody else, please keep your camera on at all times for the final round. All right, final 4 questions coming up, guys. All of you have both your power cards intact, so feel free to use them in this round, because in case you want to go ahead on the lead, because Swarna already has set up an early lead. Okay, so Swarna incidentally will be fielding the first question in the last round, and we'll be going in reverse. So which means in this round, our order will be Swarna, then Uday, then Ronak, and then F, right? So here we are. We go on to round 3, which is called About Me. Don't worry, the questions are not about me. It's about somebody. So it's like the about page of a company or a person where you're talking about them, and you have to just identify who we are talking about or what we are talking about. Yeah. So question coming to you, Swarna, here it is. Arunachalam Muruganathan is an inventor and social entrepreneur from Coimbatore in Tamil Nadu. He owns this company called Jayashree Industries, whose signature product have been used in practically all the states in India. Time named him among the 100 most influential people in the world in 2014. He was also in the news around that time because of other reasons. I'm not going to probably give that to you because it might be a very big clue. The only question the answer I want from you is, what does his company make? He's a social entrepreneur, and his product has been sort of hailed as something that is very important, something that is very crucial. So what does his company make? Think of the timeline. 2014. I think he was in the news again around, if I remember correctly, 2016 or 17-ish, or something that was being made about him. So take a guess on who this is or what this is. Even if you give me the general guess of what was being made about him, or even those are acceptable answers. Again, best answer policy. Anything close enough is fair. Anything on it, Swarna? No?
I'd like to go with clothing.
Clothing. Decent guess. Not correct. Decent guess. Let's go to Uday. Coimbatore clothing. Not too far fetched.
Sir,
Uday,
can you use power mode, sir?
you want to use the power mode on this one? Yes, please.
It's sanitary pads.
It is sanitary pads. Plus 22 then. That one. Excellent answer. Arunachalam Muruganathan is effectively the person who inspired the movie Batman, where Akshay Kumar, of course, played the role of the character, which was kind of based on his personality. He makes low-cost sanitary pads to sort of promote menstrual hygiene, and it's been a game changer because for people, especially in remote areas who are not able to afford these products, he has essentially changed their lives. So well done on that one, Pranav. Sorry, Uday. And fantastic use of the power card as well. Not just that, I think you have the next question as well. So you are well placed to try and test the initiative in this quiz with next question coming to you. Okay. Question number 6. It will be again connecting all these pictures that you will see. Okay, Uday, if the camera goes off during the question, I will not ask the question to you. I'll simply pass it on. It is absolutely not done. You can see on screen the question. You don't even have to go anywhere else to try and answer that. Because if you're trying to Google it, I'll simply boot you out of the quiz. It's as simple as that. You Google the last question. Answer straight. We have been fairly clear about the rules. And this is the third instance that I'm receiving a report that the camera was off when the question was being asked. Not acceptable. I'm asking you a question. Did you Google the last question?
No, sir.
I'll take you on your word. But if the camera goes off next time, I'm simply passing on and moving on to the next contestant. So the next 3 pictures, you have to connect that to an individual, to a person. Okay, so that's the question. Please keep your camera on. What personality connects these 4 pictures? Can't give you more time. Moving on to the next contestant. What personality connects these 4 pictures? Take a guess. Probably guessable, actually. So, Ronak, do you want to take a stab at it?
So, Steve Wozniak?
Steve Wozniak. Well, Steve Wozniak is there in the photo, but not the correct answer. So, Pranav, would you like to take a stab at it? Personality connects.
Is it Steve Jobs?
Is it Steve Jobs? Just because Steve Wozniak was there, you thought it would be Steve Jobs. It is Steve Jobs. Plus 10. Good answer on that one. Others, of course, are Pixar, a studio that Steve Jobs bought. And that's Steve Jobs' sister on the left, might have been the tougher clue to crack. And right below is the American flag flying at half-mast after Steve Jobs' demise, which is one of the rare times when the American flag has flown at half-mast for a civilian or a non-head of state to mark as a mark of respect. So well done. Good crack on that one, Pranav. So we have 2 more questions to go. We are towards the end of this quiz. Question coming to Ronak, and then we'll end with the question to Siddharth, could you give us a quick update on the score situation so that we know for these guys going into the last questions how they are placed?
Yeah. Currently, Uday is in the lead with 30.
Yeah, should be.
And Pranav and Swarna are tied at 20.
Are tied at 20.
Yet to open his account.
Ronak yet to open his account. Okay. Incidentally, theoretically, the possibility is still open that Ronak can still win this quiz using both his power cards on this one and hopefully the next one. So, you know, it's like waiting for a no ball to be bowled when you have to get off the last over. It's possible. It has happened. Remember Vinay Kumar? Anyway, so let's go to the next question. Here it is for Ronak. Okay, Tanangini Mitra loved pirouetting. She so basically pirouetting is ballet dancing. She gave a public display at her annual school function, which caught the eye of Alec Padamsee, who is a reputed ad film director. So he approached her mom and said, "Oh, we want her to do this spin, this pirouetting, like she does so very gracefully, and we want to cast her for an ad film that we are making, right? For campaign that we are making." So she is hired for that. She does the pirouette, and it becomes one of the most iconic advertising images India has ever seen. So all you have to tell me is, what are we talking about? What ad campaign or what brand or any of those things would work? Again, best answer policy. And Ronak, you really have nothing to lose, so you might as well use the power card.
So yeah, can I use a power card?
You can.
Okay. Tarangini Mitra Mandal.
No, we are talking about, we want the ad. Yeah, we want the ad campaign name. Okay, sorry, can't give you more time there. I'll take that as a wrong answer. So that's a -10, unfortunately. So I think from Ronak, we'll move to Pranav. Pranav, do you have an answer for this one?
So is it Parle-G?
Is it Parle-G? Very, very good guess. Very good guess, but unfortunately not correct. Swarna, you have a chance here.
Washing powder Nirma.
Washing powder Nirma, the girl pirouetting in the ad, the little girl in the frock is the right answer. Brilliant answer. Well done, Swarna. Superb answer on that one. Tarangini Mitra is the young girl who was cast as basically the washing powder Nirma girl, or again, the how iconic this image is probably testified by the fact that when Sarna answered, she said washing powder Nirma rather than just saying Nirma or the girl in Nirma. So that's how embedded it is in our minds, right? Okay, I think we are down to the last question, and that question will be to Pranav. Pranav, you still have your card, so you can still use it to try and see if you can wrest the lead from Swarna. If I have my math correct, Swarna is on 40 right now.
Swarna is on 30 according
30,
to my calculation. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, she's answered 3 questions, right? Hasn't used the power card. Okay.
Yeah.
You could have probably used that, Swarna. You missed out on a potential chance to do so. But the last question comes down to Pranav. How much is Pranav at?
Pranav's at 20.
Pranav's at 20. So it could end up being a tie, and we might have to go into a tiebreaker. Or Pranav could use the power card and win this here. So anything is possible. Or it could go to somebody else, and maybe how much does Uday have? Uday is on the lead, right?
Uday is also at 30, so it's currently at 5.
So yeah, I mean, Uday could win this with the last answer. You never know. Question is to Pranav. Here it is. Okay, this person whose image we'll show you in the next slide, his insurance for his journey would have cost him $50,000, and his salary was only at that point of time $17,000. So he couldn't really afford it. So he didn't know whether he would come back from this so-called journey. It was very risky. So he signed a bunch of autographs before the journey and gave it to his family. That was sort of his insurance policy. In the sense, he said, you know what you can do if I don't come back? Sell these autographs, and you could, take money out of that, and that could provide for his family if he did not. So who is this person and what is his journey? If you identify the person, that's good enough. We'll give you the answer. I mean, we'll give you the points anyway. This is the person. So who is this person, and what was this journey for which he took a very unique approach to creating his own insurance policy? So this is for Pranav. Incidentally, the question will pass to Swarna if you don't have an answer. Can't give a lot of time on that one, Pranav. You can take a guess.
Is he an actor?
Okay, yeah. Going to Swarna. Yeah, you're saying, is he an actor? No, he's not an actor. I think from Swarna, it will pass on to Uday. Ronak will come to you right at the end because Uday still has to go for it. So Uday, if you have a guess. Go for it, Uday.
No, sir. I have no clue.
No idea. No problem. Let's see if Ronak, you have a power card left as well. So in case you seem confident.
Yes, I want to use a power card.
You want to use a power card. All right, this quiz just got exciting. Go for the answer, Ronak.
Neil Armstrong?
Is this Neil Armstrong and signed autographs and left them on Earth before going to the moon so that if it doesn't come back,
yes,
make money? Absolutely
yes.
Brilliant answer and fantastic use of the power card. A thriller of a quiz, but the last answer, I think clinches it. Neil Armstrong, journey to the moon, first man to set foot on the moon. Of course, he did come back, but he was brave enough and smart enough. He understood the risks and decided to ensure his journey by doing that smart move of the autographs. That brings us to the end, ladies and gentlemen, of this particular quiz. While Siddharth quickly puts the scores together to confirm who has won, quick audience question: a Belgian chocolate brand founded in 1923. It changed its name from Italo Sushi to something X because the company no longer had any real association with either Italy or Switzerland. But unfortunately, it became a cause for concern for international consumers, and they said, please change this name because it's a problematic name. Around 2013-14, so that's the timeline that would give you a clue. They changed it to Libert. So what is the name of that chocolate which became so offensive and problematic? Please shoot your answers on the chat. Meanwhile, Siddharth, if you could message on the group in terms of the scores.
Yeah, I'll message on the our group.
Yeah, so that I know what the scores are and we could quickly announce that. We just about made it in time. And while you're shooting the answers, Ronak saying Reuters is a good one. And Amitra is saying Hershey's. No, Hershey's still names them Hershey's. That's not a problem as yet. Hershey's hasn't become a problem. Pranav saying ISIS brand. ISIS, like terrorist group ISIS, is the right answer. You must be wishing this question was there in the main quiz. Yes, it was called ISIS, obviously after the Egyptian god, but as you know, ISIS doesn't have a great connotation right now. I have a friend named ISIS and she got rejected for a loan by Citibank because of her name. So, it's not a great name to have right now, but I think for her, it's too late to try and change it. Yes, let's take a look at the scores. We have Uday and Sona. I think Ronak got the last one correct, Siddharth?
Yes, sir. He was initially...
he was on -5 after that one. Okay. So fantastic jump there, Ronak. Unfortunately, Ronak finishes at 4th place. The podium finishes, and now we'll have to go back to our original tiebreakers to break them. Uday, Swarna, and Pranav finishing at 30 points each. But based on how you did in the first round, we'll use that as the tiebreaker. So Pranav just edges out as the champion. So we have our Flair 2021 Business Quiz champion. That would be Pranav. Uday finishes on 2nd place because he finished 1 place higher than Swarna in the first round, and Swarna finishes on 3rd. Brilliant performance from all of you guys. Just tough luck there at the end, Swarna. Maybe have used your 2nd power card at some point if you'd wanted, but fantastic performance.
Sir, I'm sorry, Pranav was at 20. I'm very sorry. There was a miscalculation from my end.
Oh, hang on.
He answered question 1 and question 6. So he's at 20, I'm sorry.
Question 1 and question 6, right?
Yeah.
And Uday and Swarna are on 30 and 30. So Uday is the champion, Swarna is number 2, Pranav is 3rd. Is that what it is? Reconfirm,
yes,
Siddharth?
sir. Yeah, that would be correct.
So, okay. Sorry about that. So Uday is our champion. Well done, Uday. Congratulations. Swarna finishing 2nd, just by a whisker because of that performance in the first round. But like I said, the first round performance was important. It was 10 questions. So well done on that one, guys. And tough luck, Pranav, but well done. And brilliant bounce back from Ronak. Spectacular stuff on that last question. Ronak score to the moon. All right. Thank you everyone for joining us. Hopefully you found it entertaining and enlightening. And once again, a huge thank you to BMS CCM, to Pankaj, to Javeria ma'am, to Siddharth, to Rushil, to Sriram, all these guys who have been working tirelessly to put this quiz together. I have just come and presented whatever they had put together. So thank you everyone, and to the ECell and the Phoenix Club as well. And congratulations to the winners of the quiz Flair 2021. She'll take it away.
Sure, sir. So good afternoon to everyone present here. I, Rushil Manjeshwar of the final year BBA, consider it a great honor and privilege to propose the vote of thanks on this occasion. I would like to start by saying a huge thanks to our quiz master, Mr. Tariq, sir. We're truly grateful, sir, for having you here, sir.
My pleasure, Rushil.
So I would also like to express my gratitude to our beloved principal, Dr. Pankaj Chowdhury, sir, Dr. Preeti Stanley, ma'am, as head of corporate communication cell, and the cultural committee for their constant support and encouragement. I would also like to thank this prestigious institution, BMS College of Commerce and Management, for providing us with an opportunity to conduct the Quiz Day Affairs, the business quiz. It's part of Flair 2021. I would also like to thank our faculty coordinators from ESL, BMS, CCM, and Phoenix the Finance Club, Dr. Manu Natesh sir, Vivek sir, Joveria ma'am, Priya ma'am, Nagasindhu ma'am, Komalata ma'am, and Amina Firdos ma'am. I'd further like to extend my hearty congratulations to the winners and participants for showing their interest in this event. A shout out to Hitesh sir for joining us in the background there. So
and some great answers also.
Yes, sir. And I also thank the creative team, that is Sriram and Siddharth, for bringing this event to life. And once again, I thank everyone for making this event a grand success. Kindly do join us for the next event, that's poster making by NSS and Air Crash by Prometheus, the literary and reading club.
I think we just went over 3 or 4 minutes over time, so apologies about that. But once again, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Can I log off?